Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I have another pick a card reading for you all. And this one is actually just a general pick a card reading. And what I mean by that is there's no particular rhyme or reason. It's honestly just whatever messages you need to hear that are coming through from spirit. Okay. So the reason why I chose to do this is because today is January 1st of 2020. So happy New Year, everyone. I hope you all had a wonderful New Year's Eve, and I honestly just felt called to do this pick a card reading because I was like, you know what, it's a new year, new energy. Let's see what messages are in store for us, okay? So I am going to consider this a timeless pick a card reading because I feel that these messages, no matter if you see it today, tomorrow, a year from now, I feel like this is going to resonate for you when you see this, okay? So it could be at any point in time. Now, we have three piles here. We have pile number 1 with amethyst, pile 2 with some citrine, and pile 3 with clear quartz. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video if you need to meditate on which pile you would like to select. Some people like to use the crystals as visual aids to help them choose. Others like to just meditate or close their eyes and, go based off of their intuition. Do whatever works best for you. Me personally, I like the visuals. That's the reason why I like to put crystals on mine, but you do not have to feel obligated to do so. Honestly, the best reading that you will find is if you go based off of your intuition and your first instinct, okay? So whatever you feel called to or drawn to, that is the pile for you. Also, if you feel called to more than one pile, that's totally fine as well. There might be other messages in there for you, which is the reason why you are being called to other ones. So feel free to do so. It's totally up to you guys. I'm going to go ahead and get started with pile 1. So if you need to pause, go ahead and do so, but we're going to go ahead and get started. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and move these guys off to the side. And we're going to start with pile 1 with the amethyst crystal. Move that guy off to the side. And we're going to start with your guys' tarot cards first before we go into your oracle card messages. And let's see what we got. All right, we have the 8 of Wands in reverse. The Ace of Cups, reverse. The Princess of Pentacles in reverse, which I believe is the Page of Pentacles. We have the 10 of Swords in reverse. The 9 of Cups in reverse. A lot of reversals here. And the 2 of Pentacles upright. Okay, so group number 1. We've got a few things going on, and I'm going to start actually just kind of go across this way because that's kind of what I'm most comfortable with doing. So with the 8 of Wands, so the 8 of Wands talks about, action, moving forward, taking matters into your own hands and actually, being able to move forward in the direction that you want. When it's in the reverse position, oftentimes that can indicate that the movement that is coming about can be unwanted, meaning like maybe things are moving about that they're going in the direction that you don't necessarily want them to. This can also talk about even being like at a standstill or you not wanting to move forward, that there's just something either holding you back or you just feel like it's just not either the right timing or that you aren't really comfortable with this movement that's coming about. Okay. Now this can talk about in any aspect, it can be within a relationship. It can be with, a business venture or a deal, anything like that. Whatever it's causing, you to be in this current situation that you don't want to necessarily move forward in, that's what that can indicate, okay? We have the Ace of Cups, which does talk about possible relationships and that perhaps a relationship isn't moving forward in the way that you want it to. So funny that we were talking about just moving forward, because you also have the Ace of Cups, which talks about like delays in possible relationships or endeavors. So there's a lot of standstill, a lot of delay going on right now for you guys. So what that can also indicate, like I said, if this is talking about a relationship, that perhaps if you guys are in a newer relationship, or even in a relationship that you've been in for a minute, but I'm thinking something that's newer, that if you're in this new relationship, perhaps it's just not going the way that you thought it would, or perhaps the person isn't who you thought that they were all, that they presented themselves to be to you. And so you're just kind of like at a standstill, like, well, what do I do now? Or where do I go from here? And I think that can kind of be where this Eight of Wands in reverse is coming into play, where there's just like that unwanted movement, that standstill of like, I don't want to move forward with this, or, I don't like the way that this is going, basically. Okay. Then we have the Princess of Pentacles, which again, I want to say is considered the Page of Pentacles in the regular tarot deck. Actually, this tarot deck is my Goddess tarot deck. So the cards are going to be a little bit different. But, I still really like them. But basically with the Page of Pentacles, this talks about, that, I hate to say lazy, but it can be considered like the lazy card, or like the sense of like there's like a laziness coming about, like perhaps, with whatever this current situation is, of being kind of at a standstill, that you're not really motivated to want to correct it or fix it into the way that you are in the direction that it should go in, if that makes sense. Excuse me. And so with, having that kind of come about, I feel like a lot of this has to deal with, what your overall mentality is as to, if you basically allow this to continue, you're only just going to be more disappointed with the outcome, if you don't make, the conscious effort to, fix the current situation. I hope that makes sense. Okay. And then with the Ten of Swords, this talks about you kind of feeling, there's the sense of like a holding, that holding back. Like I was mentioning, a lot of this energy that's coming through is that refusal to move forward, or like that standstill. And I think with having this lazy energy that can come into play, that can also indicate that, yeah, maybe you just don't really feel motivated to want to get yourself out of this situation, whatever it is, right? Something's holding you back, to get out of this. You're either, whether it's you or the other person, maybe if you are in a relationship, like I was saying earlier, if this is a new relationship, perhaps, maybe you don't want to hurt their feelings, or maybe you don't want to just like up and walk away, or whatever it may be. But that you're not necessarily happy in your situation, and because it's not going in the way that you are wanting it to. So it's like, why consider to put yourself through this misery if it's not going the way that you want it to. Okay. You have the Nine of Cups here, which is in reverse. Now the Nine of Cups, it can be a very positive card, even when it is in the reverse position. But ultimately this card, talk about close to completion. When it's in reverse, the only real negative aspect of this is that it can be basically a crappy situation if you allow it to. So if you allow this laziness to take over, or to kind of, take, into effect, for you to not rectify whatever this, movement is, or this standstill is, then yeah, you're just going to continue to be miserable. You're going to continue to be unhappy in your situation. Okay. The Two of Pentacles talks about that balance, or seeking, trying to regain some sort of balance in your situation, that, you know, you're kind of juggling, should I stay, should I go, is what I'm envisioning with this. Okay. So again, the ball's totally in your guys' court. You guys definitely, you know, have to do whatever it is you need to get this moving in the direction that you want it to. Okay, so let's see what your oracle messages have to say, maybe kind of give us a little bit more clarification on the situation. So we have 2 goddess guidance oracle cards. The first one is bright future. Stop worrying, everything is going to be fine. Okay, so yeah, if obviously the situation doesn't really seem to be going the way that you want it to, and maybe you've been allowing yourself to worry, you know, constantly over it, but, you know, everything will work out the way that it's supposed to. Next one you have is High Priestess. You have divine knowledge that can help others through your spiritual teaching. Okay, so to me, I think that this card is talking about the fact that you guys are definitely very smart. You guys know what it is that you want and how to get that. I think right now some of you might just be feeling a little lazy about it, and, you know, there's just kind of like and there's some sort of unmotivation right now. I think once you find that motivation to kind of kick yourself into gear, you'll be able then to actually go after what it is that you truly want and let go of what no longer serves you. Okay, so I think that's what that, to me, is what is ultimately coming through. All right, so your next oracle cards, you have Take the Lead. So yeah, I think in this situation, if this is referring to a possible relationship where, you know, it's just not working out the way that you want it to, I think you are going to have to take the lead on this and ultimately end it, you know, or walk away from it, or even just talk to them about it and let them know, like, you know, hey, how come this isn't going the way that, you know, we initially talked about, or, you know, whatnot, whatever it may be. It's really going to have to come from you. A lot of this, I think, is really ultimately talking about you feeling this way. So you're going to have to then take the lead on rectifying this. Okay. All right. So your other oracle cards we have Growth. So the waxing crescent moon, and full moon in Capricorn. The end of a tough cycle approaches. So, well, that's good. I mean, that's good clarification for you guys. So I don't know how long it is that you guys have been necessarily going through this situation. Again, this is a timeless reading, so this can happen at any point. Could be going on right now. It could happen months from now. Who knows? So depending on how long you've been going through this situation, it's good to know that it's obviously not going to last forever, that it is about to end. And I think you are definitely going to have to take the lead on this and be able to, regain that sense of control. And by doing so, you will be able to grow for sure. It does take a lot of growth and a lot of courage to be able to, change what no longer is serving us, or change our, situation, especially if we're in a situation that is making us feel like we're not moving in the direction that we want to. So by you recognizing that and being able to move forward is going to be very beneficial for you. Okay. And your last message that you have is from the Work Your Light Oracle card. And it says, the ever unfolding rose, cracked open, it's happening for you, not to you. So I think this is a really good reminder that it's happening for you, not to you. So this whole situation, whatever it may be, I think this is a learning process for you, that, it's happening for you, not to you, meaning like that you can't necessarily take this 100% to heart, even if this situation isn't going in the way that you were hoping it would, or that you wanted it to. There is a way for you to rectify this. There is a way for you to regain control, to take the lead on the situation, and, move it into a way that you want it ultimately to go for you. Okay. I hope that makes sense. I kind of feel like I repeated myself a little bit. But that's basically what's coming through for you guys for group 1. I hope that made some sense to you guys, in understanding that obviously it seems like we've got a lot of standstill at this time, that you guys just aren't necessarily at the place that you want to be, but knowing that the end is definitely approaching. It's not going to be forever. You guys are fully capable of taking the lead on this situation, and out of all of it, it's going to really, I think, teach you something. You're going to learn a lot from this and grow from it. So, hopefully this resonated with you guys. If it did, please let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to hear how this situation came about, or what the situation even was. I'm really curious to know. If you feel like sharing, please definitely share below. And I'm going to go ahead and move these guys off to the side. And we're going to go ahead and move on to pile 2. All right, pile 2 with the citrine. Probably one of my favorite crystals. I love the citrine. All right, so group 2. Same like what we did with group 1. We're going to start with your tarot cards first, and then we will go into your oracle cards. So you guys have the 4 of Wands in reverse, the 3 of Wands, 7 of Wands, a lot of wand energy here, 7 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles, and 6 of Cups. All right. So group 2. So it looks like you guys have a lot of good things going on right now for you. I'm going to start with the 4 of Wands. So with the 4 of Wands, this talks about celebration. And when it's in the reverse position, it talks about, quietly celebrating, your endeavors, or, your accomplishments. You're not boasting about it. You're kind of quietly celebrating it, because you're not one to really just be like, hey, look at me, look at what I've accomplished. No, you're keeping it, maybe to yourself, or just kind of within your close circle, close knit of friends, all of that stuff. The 3 of Wands is talking about your endeavors, like you're building like a solid foundation, for your business, or for your finances. You're establishing some sort of, strong foundation with that. Okay. And with the 7 of Wands, this is telling me that there's been a lot of hard work for sure with it, that you have, I think, fought hard for what you wanted, and I'm thinking of like a business venture. So if you guys have started a new business, or if you have, sorry, I apologize. That was my dog. She likes to cough. So if you have, a business venture that maybe you've just started in, or maybe it's like a new business that you wanted to start. I'm thinking like, really anything, like I think like for some reason like a realtor is coming to my mind. Like if you decide to start your own practice with that, your own why can't I say your real estate? I can't think of the darn word, so I'm so sorry. But something to that aspect, or maybe starting your own YouTube channel, or whatever it is, like just some sort of business that you have, worked hard for, that maybe you've kind of beat the odds against. Like maybe other people have been telling you like, oh, you can't do that, or, oh, I don't know if that's a good idea for you to do it. Like, no, you've been persistent, and you're like, you know what, I'm going to prove people wrong. I'm going to be courageous, and I'm going to take a stand, and I'm going to fight for what I want. And that's exactly what you're doing. You have the 7 of Pentacles here, which is like talking about your hard work, like you kind of like reaping the benefits of that hard work that you've been putting into, right? You've got all of this here, you're nurturing it. You're showing like, yep, look, I did it. I said what I was going to do. I did it. And now I'm reaping the benefits of it. Now the money's coming in, or now, I'm finally having that sense of security that I've always been wanting. Right. And that's what I'm seeing too, like with the with the Three of Wands, you know, when I was saying that strong foundation that you're trying to build, I think it's ultimately just a sense of security that you guys have been really working towards, you know, whatever it may be. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be that you start your own business. So if you guys chose Pal 2 and you're like, I don't have my own business, I just have a regular 9-to-5 job, that's fine. I mean, I'm thinking like perhaps even within your job, either you've moved up, maybe you've been promoted in your job, or like you fought your way to the top. Maybe you started at the very bottom and now, you know, you're working your way up, you know, either to like management or a supervisor or whatever. And now that's, you know, higher pay, you know, benefits, sense of security, all of that. And it's showing for sure. You guys have put in the work. And now with the 10 of Pentacles here, this is you just reaping all of those benefits. Your finances are in line. You're putting your family first. I think your family life and your home life is definitely very secure and strong at this point. And, you know, it is a cause for a celebration. And like I said, it might not be something that you're trying to boast about, because I think this is a more internal celebration for sure. You know, you should feel proud of yourself for the hard work that you have been working on. Okay. I think this is something that for most of you, you guys have always wanted this. You've always wanted this sense of security, this sense of, I can do this, that, you know, if I work hard for this, I can, you know, maybe one day not have to worry about money as much. I don't have to worry about, you know, having to not be able to provide for my family, or, you know, whatever it may be. You guys are definitely fully capable of those things, and it's showing based off of what you guys have worked so hard for. Okay. And what's funny is that we have the Six of Cups here, which talks about the past, but it talks about the past in a good way. Like you're feeling a sense of nostalgia at this point. And I think it's due to the success that you've experienced. So for some of you guys, I think by you reaching this level of success, it's causing you to kind of reflect on your past and see how far you've come. And I think this is a perfect time because, you know, now that we're in 2020, everybody, you know, has kind of contemplated like where they were at the start of the decade to where they are at the end. And, you know, going back from like 2010 to 2020, you know, where you started to where you are now, it's honestly like you've lived a lifetime, and it's crazy because it's only been 10 years, right? But so much can happen in 10 years. And in a way, I think for a lot of you guys, if you are experiencing this, it is kind of causing you to have that like, oh my gosh, yeah, you know, I remember growing up, we didn't have a lot, but we were still happy, you know, and I always told myself that one day I was gonna, you know, make enough money so then that way my family wouldn't have to worry about money anymore. We wouldn't have to worry about this or that, you know. And I think that's just really what this card, when it's coming up, is talking about, that some of you may be feeling at this point. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at what your oracle messages are and seeing if we can get more clarification with everything. Okay, all right, so you guys have blossom. So yeah, I definitely see that things are blossoming for you guys at this point, especially with the 10 of Pentacles, the 7 of Pentacles. You guys have so much here that's showing that, you know, you have such a flourishing time for you guys right now, that, you know, everything that you have worked for or worked towards is blossoming, you know, so that's really awesome to see. All right, let's see what your other oracle messages are. We have receptivity. Allow yourself to receive. This will increase your intuition, energy, and ability to give to others. So I love that. Like I was saying earlier with like the nostalgia aspect, if you're thinking like with your family, putting your family at the forefront right now, along with your finances and that sense of security, perhaps the reason why you've been working so hard or what you've been working so hard for is to be able to give back to your family in some aspect, to maybe buy your mom a house, maybe she's never owned a home, and now that you're making enough money to where you can buy her a home, that's your way of giving back. Or, anything along those lines is what I'm thinking, could resonate. Past life. Okay. This situation involves your past life memories. Again, Six of Cups. That's literally, this is just validation for this, in my opinion, that this whole aspect is really causing, I think, a lot of you guys to think about your past and where you've come in, just kind of reflecting on, where you started to where you are now. And I think too, that kind of coincides with, the celebrating, I think internally, you're not trying to flaunt this to everybody. You're kind of doing like a quiet celebration because you're taking a moment to realize like, yeah, you know what? I have come a long way. And I think just having that is a very humbling experience, or a very humbling feeling of seeing where you started to where you are now, and, remembering, where you started, I think is a really awesome thing for sure. All right, so let's see what your other oracle messages are. We have you and your loved ones are safe. New moon in Cancer. So I love that with that sense of security that we got here with the Ten of Pentacles. Okay. New moon in Taurus. Prosperity lies ahead. Again, Ten of Pentacles. Validation right there. Fixed moon. Hold your vision. So yeah, I think just kind of keeping your vision at the forefront of what it is that you want ultimately for you and for your family, I think is really what's going to continue to allow you to prosper and for your vision to bloom. Okay. All right. So the next two cards we have are from the Queen of the Moon Oracle. We have Purity, Snow Moon, and Dark Moon, the Void. All right, so two very different cards, but let's see. With the Snow Moon, Purity, I think of like new beginnings. I think of like a fresh start. I think of just like this new, just everything's just new, like fresh beginning. And to me, that's what I concede with the prosperity and all of that, that is new. That is a new experience for you, especially like if it's been something you've been working so hard towards and now you're reaping the benefit of it. Yeah. That's to me is what, would make sense with that. The Void. So to me, I think with the Void, this talks more so, I would think, in like the past tense aspect. So perhaps this is what you like with the Seven of Wands here, when you've been kind of fighting against, those naysayers, or maybe those people who kind of held you back in the beginning, like on your way of working yourself up, people who kind of maybe advised against it or whatever it was, that negativity, you kind of beating the odds and you being courageous and you sticking it out and saying like, no, I'm going to get through this. Like I'm going to work for this. This is what I want. And I'm going to do it. I think this is just only adding to that aspect of what it is that you truly fought for and how you guys are ultimately achieving that. All right. In your last card, we have Transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level, deep healing. So yeah, I definitely see that this is a huge transformation for you guys, but in such a good way. This told such a beautiful, beautiful story, in my opinion. It shows that you guys have definitely worked hard. I think from wherever you started, yeah, there's definitely been some sort of transformation. I don't think it's not like you guys have always maybe been well off. I think this is something that you've worked so hard towards, and you're definitely achieving that, which is so great to see. So group 2, kudos to you guys, and I definitely admire you know, your guys' hard work. If this applies to you, and if you are at a place right now where you are trying to get to this point, knowing that your hard work is paying off and that you are capable of achieving this, and the fact that you know, are able to kind of reflect on, you know, where you started to where you are now, I think is just such a beautiful and humbling experience. So kudos to you guys on that. Good job. And I would love to hear your guys' story if this resonated with you, and if you would like to share, please share with us on the comments below. I would love to hear how exactly, you know, you felt secure, and, you know, what you prospered from. So all right, I'm going to go ahead and move these guys off to this side. We're going to go ahead and move on to our final group, group 3. Excuse me. All right. So group 3, we have the clear quartz. And group 3, we're going to do just like we did with the other 2 groups. I'm going to start with your tarot cards first, and then we're going to go into your oracle cards. So here we go. We have the Magician in reverse, 6 of Swords in reverse, the King of Swords, the Tower in reverse, 6 of Wands in reverse, and the Prince of Wands, which I believe is the Knight of Wands. Okay. So group 3, right off the bat, it seems like for you guys, there is some sort of standstill, I would say, with you guys, with the Magician in the reverse position. Something is, I would say right now would be, you know, it's not a good time for a sudden change. That perhaps internally you just don't really feel prepared, or that you feel, I think you guys are just feeling like a lot of like self-doubt at the moment, and so it's like you don't really know what it is that you want, because when I think of the Magician, I think of somebody who's trying to manifest something into reality, right? Like they're really just trying to get all their ducks in a row, and they're trying to, you know, make their dreams come true, and, you know, they're motivated, and, you know, it's like they've got a plan and they're ready to go for it. That's what I think of when I think of the Magician. When it's in the reverse position, that tells me that it's like you're uncertain of things, that there's just a lot of uncertainty, and I think it's just within ourselves, you know. It's like, well, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I should. I don't know if I'm capable of this or that. And I think there's just a lot of, like I said earlier, overall like self-doubt within yourself. And I think of like with the Tower in reverse here, to me, that kind of like validates, you know, that feeling, that sense of feeling within ourselves that, you know, whatever situation that's come about that maybe triggered us into feeling this way. Because and what I mean by that is oftentimes when we go into a state of questioning ourselves and like who we are or what we're capable of, sometimes we go through a certain situation that triggers those feelings, right? I think of either like we I don't want to say failed at something, but something came about that kind of hurt our ego a bit. And so within that, we then have a hard time of being able to make decisions for ourselves. Okay. And with the Tower I know can be kind of like a scary card, because a lot of people think like, oh, it's catastrophic. It's, horrible and change or whatnot. But in this situation, when it's in the reverse, it's talking about like you refusing, to make those changes. And that there's just a lot of confusion about like who you are and what you want to do. That tends to come at the forefront with this, right? This can also mean that maybe some of you are feeling a sense of depression, that because of this, I would say vicious cycle that you're in right now with yourself, it's causing you to have self-doubt. It's causing you to not trust your own decisions or your own, instincts, because you're just kind of at a loss. You don't really know which direction to even go in. And that makes me lead into the Six of Swords. Again, you're at this standstill. You don't really know which way you should go. You're kind of stuck. Okay. But I do have to say, we have the King of Swords here, which talks about, communication with somebody of an authority figure. And this can be like a teacher, a lawyer, even a counselor, or like a father figure. So if you have somebody that, maybe you're able to confide in, or if you are seeing a counselor, I think it's a definite good idea for you guys to do that, to kind of help you work through, this possible depression, or these feelings of self-doubt, or these feelings of you trying to find yourself again. Okay. Because I feel like for some of you guys, you're just in this rut. You just don't really know who you are, and you're just trying to re-find yourself again. Okay. And that honestly is normal. I feel like everybody kind of goes through at some point in their life that stage of like, who am I? What do I want? What do I want to do with my life? Where am I going? What's the career that I want? I don't, nothing's really sticking out to you. Nothing's really motivating you right now. So if you're able to talk it out with somebody, that can maybe offer you a better insight, I think like of the bigger picture, and maybe kind of help you see yourself in a better light, I think you'll be able to work through it. Okay. Don't allow yourself to get stuck in this vicious cycle, because with the tower energy, it's very, very easy for people to get caught up into that, into thinking that, it's always going to be like this. I can't escape it, and honestly, that's not the case. Like, don't ever allow yourself to continue with that cycle. If you're able to get the help, definitely get the help that you need. Okay. Then you guys have the Six of Wands. And again, this is talking about that sense of delay. You have, I think your hopes, your wishes, your dreams, or whatever it is that you're trying to maybe manifest. I think you're feeling like a sense of frustration right now because it's not. And this could be because some type of possible betrayal could have happened. And that makes me think of, the Tower card. I think something could have happened to you guys to where this did trigger the sense of emotions for you. Because it's when something like that does happen, it causes you to reevaluate your self-image, to rethink like who you are, like I said earlier, like what you are, what it is that you want, all of that. And it is tough, but again, don't allow that to be, your full definition of who you are, and that just, this is your current situation and it's always going to be your situation. No, it's not. Okay. Because we do have the Prince of Wands here, or the Knight of Wands, excuse me. And this talks about, good news coming your way. And now this can be work related. It can be, also indicating possible good news within a relationship. It could be possible good news, with finances, really anything, or within your job, even. But I think that the only way you'll be able to truly appreciate this is if you're able to work out whatever these feelings are, because if you notice, you've got these two over here in the upright position, and you've got these all in the reverse position, and they're all talking about you being at this standstill, this internal conflict, this, this feeling of you not sure of what you should do or how you should, move forward and whatnot. And to me, I think this is talking about just the current situation, but these are talking about your overall outcome. Okay. So if anything to take away from this message, I'm hoping that you guys will be able to see that this isn't forever. You guys do have positivity. You do have a light at the end of the tunnel. Okay. But I think it doesn't hurt to talk it out, figure out, a way to sort out your feelings and, re-find yourself again. So then that way, once this good news does come to you, you'll be able to better appreciate it. Okay. So let's look at your oracle cards to see what other messages we have. So we have fairness. This situation will be handled in a fair and just manner. Okay, so whatever situation I think that caused you to start having this sense of self-doubt, knowing that it will be handled in a fair and just manner is a really good message to have. And then we have inner goddess. Awaken the goddess within you through dance, self-care, and appreciating your divinity. I think this is really important. Self-care is really important in this one. Again, if going to a counselor or talking to like your teacher or, father figure, husband, whomever, like, I think this is going to be very beneficial to you guys, to help you work through the situation. Okay. Next we have Master. All right. So with this card is what I do know about this card is it's also considered like the devil card in like the tarot cards. And what that means is it talks about us mastering our fear. And not allowing our fear to take over or to have control over us. In fact, we need to be able to master this fear, harness it, and work it to our advantage to where we no longer fear change, where we no longer fear our situation, or maybe even ourselves, that we let go of these bad habits, of these this negativity, so then that way we can move forward. Okay, so that's what the MasterCard represents in this. All right, so next we have the Balsamic Moon, a time for healing. Yeah, I definitely agree. I think that this, for a lot of you guys, if you are in this current maybe depressive state, or you're just kind of in this indecisiveness of self-doubt, I think this would be a really good time to heal for sure and to seek self-care. All right, in your other cards we have Power, Full Moon, and Last Quarter Moon, Gratitude. All right, so with the Power card, to me, again, very similar to the Master card, I think this is just talking about you regaining your power. And what I mean by that is your power of yourself, of your feelings, of you being able to no longer allow this situation to control you or to control your emotions. Being able to regain that power is in and of itself very healing, very empowering, play on words, but very empowering. And I think once you guys are able to do that, again, these will definitely be beneficial to you in the long run, because, you can't allow yourself to allow whatever it was that triggered you. You can't allow this to consume you. You just can't. Okay. Regain this power. That's ultimately what you guys need. And gratitude. I thinking once you're able to do that, expressing gratitude, maybe to those who help you, to those that are there for you, that are in your inner circle, those that are backing you up, that are, you know, helping you along the way. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to, you know, seek guidance and seek assistance from others, you know, and I think with being able to do that, it'll help you, you know, regain that sense of self-love and self-care that you are desperately missing at this point. Okay. And our last card that we have is from the Work Your Light Oracle. We have Mirror. Who or what is triggering you? Okay, so I've been using the word trigger a lot, and again, it pops up. So I think this is a really good time to self-reflect. You know, when the mirror card pops up, that's really what this is indicating, that you really need to take a look in the mirror and figure out who or what is triggering you, that's causing you to feel this way, that's causing you to feel stuck, okay? And no longer allowing them to do that. You know, get your power back. Get yourself in a position of power to where you then control your feelings and your emotions. No one else has that power over you. Don't let them. Okay. If you are able to let that go, you then will be able to master your situation. You'll be able to regain control, and you'll be able to take care of yourself in a more positive way. Okay. So, group 3, it definitely seems like there's just a lot of healing that needs to come about right now for whatever situation that you are currently in. Obviously, I don't know exactly what it was that could have triggered this situation, but whatever it may be, I'm hoping that with the messages that came through today in this reading, that they were helpful and, you know, maybe pointing you at least in the right direction on how or whom you can talk to, you know, and hopefully getting to sort all this out. But know that you do have good news coming, okay? And that it is going to be worked out. So I hope this at least gives you some form of clarity and comfort within your situation. And yeah, I would love to hear if you guys have any feedback or if this did resonate with you. I did tell the other groups before that if this spoke to you and if you felt like, you know, this totally hit home, if you feel comfortable enough, please share in the comment section down below. I would love to hear how exactly this resonated. Like, you know, what exactly was the situation? You know, if it's still too tough to talk about, like the trigger or whatever, obviously you don't have to. But I would love to just at least hear if this made sense to you guys, or, you know, if this resonated. So if you guys can, please go ahead and give this video a like, comment, and subscribe if you are not already. I mentioned in the beginning of my video, my personal New Year's resolution is to grow this channel. So I'm putting positive vibes out there that hopefully we can get this channel to grow this year. But yeah, if you guys have any suggestions on future videos, please let me know. I would love to know and film those for you guys. But until then, I hope you guys have a wonderful day or evening wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.